Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're here to do my top 12 multiplayer games that you can play with friends 2025 edition. I love multiplayer games. I love social VR. We've talked about this before, and if you guys want to support me and the channel, there will be links down below to all of the games that we're talking about in today's video. And just to let you guys know as well, this video is going to concentrate on games that are multiplayer with more than one other friend. So in order to concise this list, this is not concentrating on 2-player games like 11 table tennis and stuff like that, but more like 3, 4 plus. So let's go ahead and get into the video.
Tech. Eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, so the first one here coming in at number 12 is Synth Riders. Synth Riders is such a great game that you can, play with your friends, have you and 7 of your friends in there playing a music-driven game. I love music-driven games, and this is a great one in multiplayer because they keep releasing some fantastic DLC like this latest one here that you guys are looking at, which is obviously the 80s pack that they've released, and they've released like other packs as well. And I really like what they do with like certain packs that they like kind of theme the actual course to what you're seeing. Like the 80s one is themed to like going through a diner and stuff like that. They did a Barbie's one that's completely themed to like the Barbie like theme song and stuff like that from the movie. So I really like what they do. And even in multiplayer, they have like different multiplayer party modes that kind of remind me of like Mario Party and stuff like that, where you're throwing things at each other like Mario Kart and just playing these different mini games and stuff. So it is super fun and super unique, in the music genre, and I think it's a fantastic multiplayer game to play with your friends. Synth Riders coming in at number 12. The next game here coming in at number 11 is Premium Bowling. This is for all my bowling fans out there, and this is a really great bowling game. Not only are the physics top notch, but of course the multiplayer is great as well. Not only because you and 3 of your friends can be on one lane, obviously playing bowling and going through the 10 frames, but also because you can actually have other people playing in lanes next to you, and they could also be bowling. So it feels like you're actually at a bowling alley, which is really awesome. And it could be turned into a really social game, talking to everyone, having a great time at this bowling alley. And they have unique courses and stuff or unique alleys in this bowling game that you can kind of play through and have fun in, that kind of remind you of bowling alleys as well. And like I said, the physics are top notch. You have a bunch of different balls and oil patterns and stuff like that you can play in, leaderboards, all that stuff is all here. Premium Bowling coming in at number 11. The next game here coming in at number 10 is NFL Pro Era 2025. Specifically not the one-on-one mode, because like I said, we were trying to leave one-on-one modes out of this list, but specifically their social hub that they have in here, where you and up to 12 of your friends can go in there and play a bunch of different mini games in this. I love social hubs, you guys know this on this channel, and this one has a great one. You go in there and pass the ball to each other. You can play different mini games of hitting targets. You can literally create your own games where everybody takes a position on the field, and then you're actually, one person's playing quarterback, one person's a running back, everyone's playing other people are playing defense, and you're literally running your own, rules of how to play a game, or playing catch, or whatever rules you basically want to run. It's an open-ended system, so you can do whatever you want, which makes playing football so much fun. And the mini games that are there are super fun to play as well. It feels really good, and it's a great social hub to be able to play some football as if you were with your friends in your backyard tossing the ball around. And that's what this game kind of gives you, on top of the fact that it has an NFL license attached to it, so you can be your favorite players, which is obviously awesome. And then you have everything else that this game offers, like the one-on-one mode that you can play, and now you can finally play defense in this game as well, so you're not just sitting on the sidelines doing nothing. You have seasons you can go through, franchise mode, online multiplayer. All of it is here, and I can't wait to see what they do for 2026. So this is a really fun game, especially if you're into the football genre. NFL Pro Era coming in at number 10. The next game here coming in at number 9 is got to be Contractors. I love Contractors because it reminds me of Call of Duty. And Call of Duty is one of my favorite, games going back for a really long time now, that I used to play with friends. And having a game like that in VR is super awesome. And not only that, but the mods that people create for this game, and actually creating maps from Call of Duty, from Battlefield, from Halo, and all those different franchises, and they're recreating them in here, is super awesome. The fact that it's cross-play between PC and Quest is obviously an awesome thing as well. They also have a spin-off of this game that they made, that you can actually play the Contractors gameplay, where it's fast-paced like Call of Duty and stuff, but in a X-File zone kind of game. So there's Contractors X-File, which is also a really cool game that you guys can check out as well. But for me, Contractors has that like team deathmatch and domination and all those type of modes that I really like playing with, that fast-paced nature. And it's my favorite go-to game when it comes to a fast-paced shooter like this. And even though it's been around for a while, but those mods and stuff like that really keep this game alive. Contractors coming in at number 9. The next game here coming in at number 8 is Dungeons of Eternity, where you and 3 of your other friends are playing a Diablo-style game where you're going through different dungeons, trying to level up and stuff like that. They've been adding a lot of updates to this game, and now it's actually on PC as well with crossplay again, which is awesome. And it's a dungeon crawl game, a la Diablo, where you're in there trying to fight enemies and going in there over and over again and fighting all these enemies and bosses and stuff like that, and bettering your equipment, but doing it cooperatively with your friends is some of the best cooperative gameplay that you can have, in my opinion, in VR these days. It is super awesome fantasy action adventure game that you can play, and you know, it just feels really good to play. It's one of the most popular multiplayer games out there to this day. Always a full set of people that you can find in there, you know, playing and stuff like that, and upgrading their equipment and fighting all these massive bosses like you guys are seeing here. So super fun game. Hope they keep updating it for a long time. Dungeons of Eternity coming in at number 8. The next game here coming in at number 7 is Real VR Fishing. So this is one of those relaxing games where you and your friends can go in there and, as the title suggests, fish. But then you go to these realistic locations. The graphics on this are some of the best you can see on the Quest because it's based on real, you know, photos and stuff like that they take at these locations. So it really does look photorealistic at times. And there's so many different fish to catch in here and so many different things, and just hanging out on the boats, hanging out on different shorelines and stuff like that. It really makes you feel like you're somewhere else, which is exactly what we like VR for, is escaping and going somewhere else. And it kind of feels like I'm, you know, there with friends, just kind of hanging out and fishing and just, you know, having a great time. And it's a great way to catch up with friends and have conversations, but be doing something at the same time, kind of the same way it is if you went fishing in the real world. And it's a fantastic game. Real VR Fishing coming in at number 7. The next game here coming in at number 6 is Galaxy Kart. Galaxy Kart is for all my racing fans out there that love Mario Kart. This is that game for you when you and a bunch of your friends can go in here. In Galaxy Kart, you and up to 6 of your friends, to be specific, or you and 5 friends, 6 people total, and you can play on all these great tracks. Like, Galaxy Kart has been updating their game for a really long time, and it has come a long way since it first released. You know, it's so much better now. The tracks are much better designed and much more fun and all unique in their own ways. You have your weapons that you're throwing at each other to try and be the first one to finish. It literally is Mario Kart for VR. And there's a lot of different characters and stuff like that, as you guys are seeing in the game, all with their own unique abilities. Obviously, fantastic multiplayer, fantastic tracks, and really good graphics for a game like this. I hope that they keep updating this game for a long time with new stuff, as they've been doing for a while now, because it really is a fun game, and it's come a long way since that first time that it released, where I really didn't like it that much because the tracks were a little bland and boring, but things have really picked up for this game. And I'm really glad to see it still kind of going along and chugging along here, because it really is a fun game. Galaxy Kart coming in at number 6. The next game here coming in at number 5 is After the Fall. Yes, I know this game has been out for a really long time, and a lot of people don't talk about this anymore, but there's not a game like this still. Like the whole Left 4 Dead thing that this game tries to do, when you or 3 of your friends are going through different levels and, you know, try to kill different enemies and then level up your weapons and get better weapons to get through these levels, is still a genre that has not really been tapped into except by this game in VR. And it is some of the most fun 4-player cooperative multiplayer game I've ever played when I played with my friends back when this came out. And they do have not just cooperative, but they also came out with regular multiplayer as well, like deathmatch and stuff like that you can actually play against each other too, which is also really fun. But the core gameplay of this Left 4 Dead style cooperative game is fantastic, even if it's been out for a while. After the Fall coming in at number 5. The next game here coming in at number 4 is going to be Racket Club from Resolution Games. You guys know how much I love Resolution Games on this channel. They make some fantastic games, and this is one of my favorites right here, Racket Club, with playing multiplayer with your friends, where you can go in there and play not only just 1v1 but 2v2, and everyone gets a corner and you're playing racquetball back and forth. And they even have other sports in there as well, where you can play table tennis, 2v2, and other sports there as well, which is super awesome. It really feels like a sports complex, and their social social hub is fantastic because not only can you play in your own court and do like a 2v2 match, but you can have courts next to you in the social hub and you'll see other people playing next to you, whether it's 1v1 or 2v2. They'll be playing table tennis in the other corner and stuff like that. It just really feels like you're a part of like an actual area and a really big social hub where you can literally just go up to people and start talking to them or watch them play the game because it accurately looks at everyone and exactly how they're hitting the ball and stuff like that. So it's such a great game. Racket Club coming in at number 4. The next game here coming in at number 3 is Demio Battles, or you can fill this in with the original Demio or even the Demio that just came out, the Dungeons and Dragons edition again as well, because all of these are pretty interchangeable depending on what you're looking for. Demio Battles for me is really fun because it's PvP. You and 3 of your friends are kind of fighting each other with your different cards and your different enemies, moving around the board in board game D&D style and trying to be the last one standing on the board, which is super fun and unique. And you can play, you know, a variety of 10 to 15 minute games and be done with it and then play another match and another match. The original Demio obviously is the cooperative version of that, where you and your 3 friends are now cooperatively going through this dungeon, fighting, you know, the actual board and fighting the different the little minifigures and stuff, and you know, try to go through the story and stuff. And now they came out with a new version of Demio, which is now the Dungeons and Dragons edition, which brings all the lore from Dungeons and Dragons, like a little bit of story of it, the classes that you see in there. There'll be a review coming out on that game later this week as well, which I'm excited about. But yeah, I mean, any of these games are fantastic in their own way, whether it's the newest one or whether it's Demio Battles or the original Demio. It's one of the best games that you can play cooperatively or PvP style with your friends. The next game here coming in at number 2 is Forefront. This is the newest game on the list for sure. Came out a couple of weeks ago, and it's technically in early access, I believe, as well, but it does not matter at all. This is what we always wanted Battlefield in VR to be like, has finally arrived. When I tell you that this is some of the most fun I've ever had, not only with friends that you can play with, but just randoms in general. People really take, you know, the talking, like, and the actual teamwork in this game is actually all there. It is super awesome. I went in there with teammates and we're sitting there, you know, going on helicopters together, firing all cylinders to kill the other team. We're on boats shooting the other team. We're on different vehicles, and the action is just as good as you would expect. And I can't wait till they keep updating this game. And this is, again, PC versus Quest as well, so you can be on both platforms. I played it on PC, did a review on this game, and it is so good. Everything you could want in a game like this, and I can't wait to see it continue to improve, adding more maps, updating the graphics for a PC that they plan on doing as well. The game already looks really good on the Quest, so I can't wait to see what it looks like when it's fully optimized for the PC. But the team-based nature of it, the multiplayer stuff, the explosions and stuff like that, and everything that you could want in a Battlefield game of driving all these vehicles around is all here, and it is super fantastic and one of the most fun multiplayer games I've played in a very long time. Forefront coming in at number 2. And the first game here coming in at number 1 is Walkabout Mini Golf. This is a game that we've been talking about on this channel for a very long time. You and up to 7 of your friends can go in here and play some mini golf in some of the best and most creative courses that you'll ever see in a game here. Every single month they're always coming out with different courses, some based on real life properties and some not, but they're always just as creative and always offer you something new, and it really makes you feel like you're at a mini golf course every single time, because not only is it just really fun to go through these locations, but they're just so well designed that sometimes you're in caves, sometimes you're underwater, sometimes you're doing this and that. It's just always something to look forward to every time they come out with a new course. You never know what you're going to get from them, and you know, they started to do even more stuff now. They just added chess to the game now, expanding their little social hub that they have going on that you can play with your friends. You can find lost balls all over the place, and now they're adding even different mini games to the game as well. Man, I can't wait to see. If they keep adding different board games and different mini games to this game, it's only going to make this game even goddamn better. Walkabout Mini Golf easily comes in as my number 1. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this list here of my top 12 favorite multiplayer games to play with your friends for 2025. As always, if you guys want to support me and the channel, there will be links down below to save yourself 10 or 20% right now, thanks to the holidays, on all of these games that I talked about in today's list. And let me know some of your favorite multiplayer games that maybe didn't make this list, because there's obviously so many good ones out there. These are obviously my favorites to recommend to people, but if you have your own, go ahead and leave those comments down below. Let me know what you guys are playing. Thank you guys for watching. Till next time.